Abram versus Fancy. This is a MCS ladder game, and we're gonna be breaking it down. Fancy coming into this game, kind of the number one player off of literally the best Madden season we've ever seen. And then we have Abram, who's been basically just Mr. Consistent over the last couple of years, has a belt, has a really back to back, really consistent, strong years. I think he finished as the number three player last year. And I can't remember what he finished the year before, but I know it was at least top five. So, anyways, really back to back to top five ish years, and he's going to be running. I believe he's running Chargers on offense. Fancy is going to be, I know defensively, I think he's primarily running single mug and then maybe running a little bit of dollar. But basically, the reason I wanted to break this game down specifically is because Fancy is coming off of literally the best MCS season we've ever seen, the most dominant MCS season we've ever seen. He won, I think he won two belts, and then he also, I think, won back to back belts, and he also won Madden Bowl as well. And so, anyways, that being said, Abram is going to be in double mug. Abram runs a lot of kind of a lot of Texas forming, but also a lot of man-to-man coverage. Now, real quick here, if we just take a look, let me just slow this down and just kind of go over like the basic mechanics. So one of the things that Fancy is going to do here is you see that Abram comes out in mid blitz and he has a significant amount of like misalignment. For example, number one, you notice here that this receiver is actually lined up like a tight end. This is because Fancy is using the tight end slot package in the Bunch X Nasty formation. And what that tight end slot package does is, as you see here, it misaligns these defenders pretty significantly. And Aram actually checks his play art when he comes out. And you're going to notice that you'll see on the left side right there that this corner is manned up on the running back over here. So hypothetically, like let's just say this running back runs a flat, this run in, this guy can't cover both. So, normally what happens is you'd have a safety here, a nickel corner here, but this package basically just completely misaligns mid blitz and really any nickel man based coverage. And so, it's just a very significant thing. The other thing is that not only is this going to force Abram to, have to adapt, have to adjust, have to maybe even change what he's doing. He's got Fancy has Bunch X Nasty here, which has, an auto motion that misaligns a lot of things. He has this cross running back route that they love this year. And then he also has potentially short corners on both sides as well. So, anyways, a lot of options for Fancy. Fancy really was in that normal Y off close, and this year kind of shifted more into a Bunch X Nasty offense. You see here that Abram audibles to cover two. As you can see, it moves these guys back into a better position. He audibles fairly late. And then you see, and there's that drag, that running back cross route that a lot of people love. A lot of people love that running back cross route. Super meta route this year. Really was starting to become meta last year, but really a top tier route. Now, the other thing Abram's going to be doing is he's going to be hovering a little bit over the center. This will allow him to send pressure and then engage and then peel off. Abram is known, in my opinion, for running a ton of man, but also a ton of cover three cloud. And here he's running cover three cloud to the short side. He's also hard flatting. Now, the purpose of the hard flat and the curl flat, the purpose of the hard flat is to defend a short corner this way. The purpose of the curl flat, as you see, he's slightly outside of this corner. And so this will help with leverage on any kind of short corner that way. So effectively, what Abram's trying to do is he's trying to force you to throw, stuff over the middle so that his user can be more involved. So as you see here, he's going to go to basic Sun 4. He has the threat of that Sun 5, the threat of the Sun 4 on the Texas 4-man, but then also just a basic Sun 4 as well. And you're going to notice something really interesting. So Abram has this safety in the third, and he also has this safety kind of in a pinched or close alignment. And so, because this hard flat, you're going to see here on the left side, you have this streak that is going to kind of run into the grid of the third. And then you have this little cheat play. Because Fancy runs this to the short side, this streak is really good at clearing this out, and it leaves this massive void over here. It's why motion cross post is such an important play, in my opinion, to have in your offense. And you see that Fancy is able to break it for a pretty easy touchdown on his first drive. Abram is going to have to do some things a little bit differently on defense. And as I said, Abram is going to be in kind of a similar offense. He is going to be in the Chargers offensive playbook, and he has the bunch strong as kind of his base formation, but he will audible to that bunch strong nasty, or excuse me, that bunch X nasty. So you see here, he's got his corner strike. Another thing he's going to do is he's going to really hit this corner on corner strike, one of the best routes. And you see there, Fancy already hard flatting on this left-hand side. Again, Fancy, why you watch Fancy, why you study Fancy is really because of his switch stick. He will show, you will see him do some really cool things defensively that you just don't see a lot of people do. But he's actually kind of basing a little bit more cover zero early, and it's not working out. I think one of the things that's really interesting to me, if you look at last year's game and you kind of compare it to where this game is at right now, it's very similar, honestly, in terms of just how, like, it's not the same gameplay, but the same things, right? It's a cover zero to a degree, like a lot of cover zero early in the year, a double mug based. You see here, Fancy's actually running the double mug now, so he's actually shifted into double mug. He wasn't a single mug, but he has shifted into that double mug. Here, Abram with a unique audible to trips. There's that running back cross route again. And the reason why they use that route is because it basically is kind of like a running back drag route, but it's a little better than a running back in. Because a running back in route gets caught up a lot in the line of scrimmage, whereas that route, like, you're not going to have that. And so you can easily flood sidelines with that running back route. It kind of just, in fact, it really is just a very useful route. So, all right, here we go. 1st and 10. This is going to bring up a red zone possession for Abram. Goes with vertical drag, Texas route. Not a great read right there, in my opinion. He is able to complete it, but really, and I don't know, I know Fancy doesn't like to use zone drops. And I don't know, maybe it looks like the yellows kind of snap. Like if you look here, it's kind of snapping down, and he's using a yellow, and you'll see how he switches right here to lurk this. And what he's hoping is that this will dive on the tight end. Abram decides to throw this, but if you look at look at this picture right here. I mean, look at this. Both are kind of snapping to it, but Abram able to just cut it off and end up losing a yard. So another thing I did want to say is that I will leave links in the description to both of these guys' stuff. If you guys want to follow them, I'm actually watching this game off of Abram's stream, so shout out to him for not only streaming ladders, but also leaving his past broadcast stuff, something you really don't see from a lot of players right now. And right there, kind of a busted play as well. And we're going to 3rd and 11. So he goes to motion cross post. He's going to probably leave that running back route. Actually, no, he's not. So as you see here, he's going to use this flat. And the whole purpose of this flat is really twofold. If this is like a vert hook on the slot, like a cover 2, this vert hook will pull over here because of this flat. If Abram doesn't, let's say like Abram put like a streak, the vert hook would pull more to the inside because of the route that he's on. So in this case, you'll see that this flat will actually pull a yellow, but it'll also pull a cloud. So then because of that, really what Abram is looking for is he's looking for Fancy to switch. If you think about where Fancy's users at on the play, he's looking for Fancy to switch to go guard this drag route. And really, where he's probably looking to throw the ball is kind of right here late in the play. And then on the left side, if Fancy was to go to cover two, then he would have this route right here. And then let's say, hypothetically, maybe he goes like that right there. You might have that there. So anyway, some different options here. But as far as progression, probably looking at the seam streak first, I would think. So you see how that guy gave that little move. He probably wants to throw this right there off of initial read. As you see here on the right, you see how this yellow is kind of getting pulled because of the flap, and it's going to open up this pocket right there late for the route. Well, you see, as you see there, that could have been a throw, right in that little window, but tough throw to hit. You could also throw this drag, which is what he's going to ultimately do because the cloud gets pushed back by this route. And so he's going to throw the drag and just take his underneath. Honestly, kind of Fancy gives that up. And then Abram's actually able to truck, and he's able to get in the end zone. I think one of the things that you see when you watch some of the best players in the world play Madden, they do, like, especially when they play like really good, they do a really good job of not forcing things. On the previous play, Abram kind of forced it into double coverage. Just showed you the verticals play, but really, even though, like, again, top level player, top 3 player last year, you can't try to make a play that's not there. And I think the better you play on time, on schedule, take what the defense gives you, I just think that gives you a higher degree of consistency over time. And you saw right there, Abram probably wasn't supposed to get a touchdown out of that, but was able to break a tackle and, get upfield. So anyways, here, Abram in that cover 3 cloud trail again, but doing some man ups. Those man ups are really just designed to kind of try to handle the problem players and formations. He mans up the running back at the tight end for a couple different reasons, but really the running back is a player, in my opinion, that man coverage is really probably, especially manning your user up on the running back, is really good. You saw it right there. Another thing that you're seeing a lot of people do is auto to this wide trio close. So that tells me that Fancy's probably in Jag's playbook, and I don't really know. Like, I understand like there's a play action play with an auto motion, but I feel like people are kind of honestly overusing this. But anywho, if you take a look here, you're going to see this is why you man your user up to the running back. If like right here, you've got kind of like a seam wheel, you just switch off of that, and you see that just takes the running back completely away. Despite the zone's really not able to play it, and then you have good coverage across the board. He's going to just take this drag back. This is a great switch right up here, up to the post. And just because Fancy doesn't have a clear out on that side, he can't throw that. And again, that's what switch stick really does. Switch stick, in my opinion, it really forces you to put like better route combos on the field. I really do think that. So Texas 4-man here, you see now he's going to cross man the tight end with his user, and he's going to switch off. You see how that just takes the tight end, and there's one of those stemmed up curls. This route is just something you see a lot of people run, and as you see here, it's basically flat. Running back wheel to kind of pull the user, and then a like a 15, 20 yard stemmed up curl. It's actually a gross route combo in my opinion, but because you have like a backside in as well. Yeah, it just, Abrams able to literally cover basically 1, 2, 3 players, I feel like, with one player. And it's just, the 7-up curl is great when it works, but when it doesn't work, it looks really, really gross. So Abram able to get a stop, got a negative play, able to get a stop. And, now he's in the driver's seat when Fancy looked great on his first drive, looked pretty good on his defensive possession. And we'll see what, Abram's able to do here. Goes to just some basic combos. And again, I'm telling you, man, it's just these high-low reads in the middle of the field. That's what you're seeing because Switchik does such a good job at defending corners and crossers and some of those second level throws. You're really getting a lot of like slant post based drag in route type of combos. So here you see he'll use that flat and he's going to use a zig now. Motions running back out on a streak. Really don't see this a lot. Kind of trying to pop cover two, not going to be able to. He's just going to throw that away. And I'm telling you, this is also why I believe that you should have a drag on every single play. Because what happens is sometimes they try to dial up like a big bomb type of play. And it just doesn't, like, they just don't give themselves like a bailout. And normally the bomb, especially against a good player, is almost never there. So they're just not going to give that up. He goes to U-trips here. I don't know. Like, I mean, it's cool. I feel like it takes an actual century to audible to U-trips to run basically dagger. And of course, he's going to throw a very nice throw. Kind of puts it where only his receiver can get it, and then is able to click on ag. Fancy was like right there, but was not able to get to play. Now you'll see here down in the red zone, really interesting from Abram. He's going to go to this RPO play out of this pistol tight Y off with a wheel route. It also has like a post on the left side, and then it has this flat. He's going to go ahead and motion this, looking for the tight end probably. He is looking for the tight end. So what I would assume happens against the 6-1 as you see here, it puts when you motion, I guess it's not true. Like it is, but it's just a flat. And then he's reading this defender. And if this defender kind of runs down like he's in the run fit, then he will throw the flat. If the defender shot out like that, then more than likely he would either just hand it off or he might have like a post, whatever that little in breaking route is. Like you see, yeah. But anyway, you just see he gets blocked by the tackle, and then this just becomes a free touchdown. Very nice red zone play. If you run Chargers, you got to add that to your playbook. Definitely going to add that to my playbook, or really any playbook that has that play, because that is a really nice little red zone play. And those are some of the things, man, like that you learn when you watch some of these guys play. Like there's only so many really good red zone plays, right? There's only so many really good route combos. So anyway, there he air trucks up with TO and gets a really nice return. And now he's going to get a wild trip up close. And again, this is kind of a lot of people. This is just my opinion, but I do feel like Henry really is setting the meta this year more than I've ever seen him. This double mug with the spread linebacker look, and then using over the center, which Abram really isn't doing that as much, but Fancy certainly is. And then also the audible from Bunch X Nasty to Wild Trail Close. There, Fancy got yelled at. And this is why you want to be like sitting every now and then, just sitting your basic 4-man rush. Notice Abram's user. I don't know what that does for him, but it really screamed. Oh, so I guess he did go Texas 2-man, and he screamed at him. And again, the whole point of calling that play right there is so that you don't get screamed at by the Texas 4-man. And I have consistently seen so many people run that offense and just get barked at by the Texas 4-man. So I don't quite understand why there's such a strong meta right now for audibling wild trail close and kind of freestyling out of that play action play. But it is good, but it's not like, I don't know. I mean, I guess you get an auto motion out of a 4 strong look. Maybe that. I don't know. I just don't know what it is. But it is what you're seeing. I mean, you're seeing Henry do it. You're seeing Wesley do it. You're seeing Fancy do it. You're seeing, I think you're seeing Gabagool do it. Like you're seeing a lot of players that are doing that right now. So here it is again. audibles to this motion P across. He's going to set up his protection, and then he's going to basically just create plays. So you see here he creates almost like a corner route and a fade on a left, backside post, and he is able to throw that corner route for a touchdown. That corner route actually ran ridiculously bad. I don't know what that route was. That's a unique route. That's not a corner route. What is that? That's not a slot fade either. I don't know what that route is on the left side. If we watch number 5, see how he takes that outside release? That's a very unique route. It might be a hot route glitch or something that you're getting within the play as well. Because with the auto motion plays, sometimes they give you unique hot routes as well. So that could be a part of it. Anyway, he's going to go to duo here. Really good run. Air truck, definitely 100% still a thing. And Abram flips a lot more than most people. Goes with the basic. This is just a bunch staple right here. Watch what he runs. Let's show you the play. So it's a corner, it's a post, or a streak, a post, and then a drag. And then this running back table creates that high-low. And you just have a lot of options. As you see here, Fancy switch sticks over here. Now, Fancy actually does a really good job of, as you see, he switch sticks, and then he runs him into position, and then he gets back over here, which is a really good way to play. And so because he does that, he's able to cover this route. He's able to cover this route. Not quite able to cover here. What he should have probably done, maybe even trying to do, is switch stick to this. Yeah. So I think when he switches here, I think he messes up. I think he meant to switch to this guy and lurk down on that. But again, you can't defend everything because once he does that, if he, as you'll see here, this is wide open as well. So you see, yes, he goes to here and he's trying to get there. So anyways, all I'm saying is this is a good example of a play that has really good spacing against switch stick. And it's why I wanted to kind of highlight this. You're able to have this high-low on the left side, but you're also able to have this check down read that gets wide open if they switch off of that underneath defender. And you also have that route. If they don't switch stick off of him, then obviously, you can throw that. But Abram is going to throw it here. He's going to cut it off. Another thing that you're seeing these guys do, by the way, is you're seeing them cut off stuff significantly. A lot of I'm going to click on, I'm going to cut it off against switch stick. So just another little thing for trying to pass against switch stick. Fancy's going to go to a 4 down here and goes to bubble screen. Abram actually pops that bubble screen, which is surprising. And then he breaks 2 tackles and gets, a ton of yardage when he probably shouldn't have. That's another example of even the best players in the world, right? Even the best players in the world, they throw stuff that probably isn't there, and sometimes they get it open. Now, this is a route from running back. The reason why, what's going on with the running back route? Typically, when you audible or flip, sometimes the running back, they'll give you one glitched hot route. And so right here, this is a glitched angle route. Basically, he flips, he puts the running back on an angle, and then he stays on that side. And then here is his blocking for Texas 4-man. It's a double team of this defensive end right here. That is really from what I've seen, that is the most consistent 5-out blocking for the Texas 4-man. And as you see, it also blocks the base 4-man. Now, if Fancy sends another player, probably going to be in trouble. But anyway, good pocket from Abram. The glitched route wasn't really going to work out, but he's able to scramble out of there and he's able to get 20 or 12 yards. One of the things you're seeing too is because you can actually do ball carrier moves behind the line of scrimmage when you hit R2. You'll see they'll hit R2, they'll run up the pocket, and then they'll air truck to get a little bit more of a speed burst out of there. And then they'll be able to obviously just get a little bit extra yards. The air truck it really just gives you just that little bit of extra deal. So anyway, 2nd and 4. I'm going to audible over to the U trips or the Y off trips close, and he is going to go to the pat slot out. What's nice about this play is you have this kind of short post, and if you flat and you have something like this route, like a clear out, what you would get is, let's say you get a cover 3, like this, very popular U trips coverage. This guy will be influenced by this guy right here. This flat will pull this slot corner out, and then this guy will kind of be in a sweet spot right there, um, where you can kind of hit it. And then he also has a drag route, and he's actually going to streak that flat route, which I do not love that, because as you'll see right here, he gets pressed, and then now as you see, like, you get this congestion. Like, I hate that. The other thing you see is he blocked a running back, and the Texas four-man is still coming in. So we'll see here if I can actually show you. So you see he doesn't double team anybody. He just blocks a running back. And you see the Texas four-man does come in. Now what he does really well is he's able to read it, and then he air trucks out, and he's going to roll out here and put himself in a really nice position, gets loose, breaks a tackle, or kind of like fakes out the user. He's able to get 7 right there and go up 21-14. Now Abram is up a stop, and Abram is up 1 possession. Fancy is now in an end of half scenario where he's trying to clock this game out, where he's trying to make sure that he scores, even if he scores 3, but he really is probably wanting obviously 7 here. He just wants to make sure that Abram does not get the ball back with enough time to go down and score points of his own. He's going to use that end of half scenario as kind of a way to get an extra stop. Now, if you've been enjoying this breakdown and you want more content from me, make sure you join our school community. That's where I post all of my full schemes, offensive and defensive ebooks for both Madden and for college football. Basically, everything that I know about the game, I put into that community so that I can help you win more games. So if you're looking to win more games in Madden or college football, join our school community today. It is only $10, and it gets you literally access to everything that I know about Madden and college football. So you see here, Abram is going to go to a little bit more of a passive defense, I believe. As you see, Texas four-man cover 4 with a vert hook. The reason for that vert hook is, as you see, it allows him to switch off this yellow and let this yellow be on the strong side, and then he switches here, and it's really good for like 4 strong because you're able to get 2 yellows on the field. As you see, he doesn't man up the running back though, so Fancy kind of forces in that running back, and there's that running back streak. The other thing that Abram did, in my opinion, that I would not have done is his user was on a 3 rec as opposed to being on a hook curl. If the user was on a hook curl, he might have gotten a little bit more out to the side there once Abram switch sticked off. It's a little thing, but it kind of makes a difference. So anyways, there you see there's that flat Z combo. This combo right here is really good this year. Like, it was good last year. I think it's even better this year. And there's a little bit of a different way to get to it. But basically, take a look here. You're going to see you're going to get like an out. You're going to get a tight end zig. And then really whatever here with this guy. Like, Fancy ends up, I think, just straight up streaking him. But as you see, what it does is this yellow is just going to have a really hard time guarding this player. And he's going to be open consistently. And as you see, it's it's just basically free yardage. I think Abram, honestly, here, his main priority is to try to hold Fancy to 3. Obviously, like, Fancy, again, top level player. Gonna be hard to gonna be hard to get a full on stop here, but trying to hold to 3 would be significant, especially with what's gonna go on at halftime here. So Fancy should take this all the way down to the 2, and he is gonna take that all the way down to the 2. And you see here, Abram is in that cover 3 cloud type of look. Really just sending for no real threat of other than Texas four-man and basic pressure, you're not getting that threat that you get from the double mug. And he is in the dime normal for this as well. I think that Abram is in the Texans playbook, I want to say. But I could be off on that. But I know he's running the regular double mug. He's not in Minnesota. So you see just basic cover 4 with curl flats, cloud flats. Trying to just play bend but don't break. Keep everything in front of him. Fancy gets out of there with a broken tackle. Little run. Fancy's kind of in a situation where he almost got down the field a little too fast. He's 1 minute 20. He has taken Abrams timeouts, though. And now you'll see Abram get a little bit more aggressive. Why is Abram getting more aggressive? Because he's either going to get a stop or he wants to get the ball back. He wants to get a stop or give up a touchdown. He doesn't want Fancy to get a first down and be able to clock everything else. As you see there, Fancy has to throw that, which the only receiver open on the play was a touchdown, and it was a tight window. You're going to see Abram play pretty much the same style of defense here. You see it's all out. It's cover zero with hard flats. It's probably shaded underneath man. Like he's trying to give up a touchdown. And as you see, but Fancy these are tight windows, and Fancy's not able to hit them. And he's right there. He hit the receiver, but the receiver obviously didn't come down with it. Didn't get a great animation there, and also just didn't get enough separation at the end of the day. And now you're going to get a 4th and 3. And then this situation, if Abram gives up a touchdown, Fancy has to take it. So there's a little bit of game theory going on here. We see, and that's could not have worked out better for Fancy right there. So he goes to that running back cross route, and if you take a look at the combo here, you got a cross route. It looks like you got the streaks on the left, and then you have this guy getting bumped corner route here. I would assume streak, and this is just very quickly, as you see, it's the only read he's getting screamed at while he's throwing this. And this throw right here, if you could just make that tackle, that would have been a huge stop. And I think he tries to dive down on it, but Fancy able to break it, get upfield. And also, Fancy, I feel like, intentionally does not score. If you look at kind of how this plays out in real time, you see broken tackle here. If Fancy just stays to the right, it's probably a touchdown. But watch how he kind of runs himself back into contact there. And I believe that is 100% because he's trying to clock this out. It's a way that Fancy made an intentional decision to kind of control the game, because if he scores there, then Abram's in a position where he can go down and basically answer back. So Fancy going to run the ball here. Now, I think he's okay with scoring. He's going to go ahead and choose it. I felt like that was a little bit of a decision there. Do I score? Do I not score? But the biggest thing that happened, which we didn't even cover on this 4th and 3, as you see, Abram has one timeout. Watch what happens. He gets him, and then immediately Abram calls timeout. So now Fancy has taken all of his timeouts, and so Fancy feels a lot more confident now of scoring, because what essentially is going to happen when Abram gets the ball back is Fancy now is able to play defense in a way where, yeah, he might give up 3, but he's probably not going to give up 7 in this situation because Abram doesn't have any timeouts. So Fancy can just strategically defend the sidelines, keep Abram in bounds, and it just kind of becomes very difficult for Abram to actually score 7 in this situation. It doesn't mean he can't do it, but it just means much less likelihood when you don't have timeouts. You don't have the ability to stop the clock. But I do think Fancy even toyed with the idea right there of maybe not scoring, right? And again, why would you not score? Because you really want to use that halftime as kind of an extra way to get a stop. So you see there, kind of a bad read from Abram, and he ends up taking this, and this is kind of a bad decision. And I feel like I've actually seen Abram a couple times. These in a half scenarios, these type of things here, like, I think what he's thinking is he'll catch it and just run out. But because he waits pretty significantly long, and I think it's because he's trying to hit this bomb, which he's close to being able to hit, by the way. I think the only reason he doesn't hit the bomb is to look where he's at. When the ball is in the middle of the field, it's not on a hash mark. A lot of the one-play touchdowns, they just don't work because the zones are based off of a grid, and that grid really significantly changes when you're in the middle of the field. Anyway, all that to say, like, he throws this late. See how late he throws this? He's actually throwing this. Maybe he thinks he will block, but what ends up happening is he catches it inbounds. He gets immediately tackled, goes backwards. Now he can't stop the clock. That's a drive killer to me. That's an absolute drive killer, because he's gonna, now granted the runoff is not that bad this year, but I mean, you see he just wasted 10 seconds effectively for no reason. Could have just thrown it away. Anyway, but I think he also wanted to get on hash. Could that could also be part of it. But anyway, going to take that. There's that motion cross post play. Again, hopefully not being like, two on one play, but it's such a good play. It's one of my favorites. And what you see is this positioning right here for this streak is so perfect because what it does is, as you see here, Fancy has a third, he has a quarter, he has something, right? And it sucks to the streak. And so as you see, even though he has a deep blue, it sucks to the streak, and then that other one becomes, basically wide open over on that sideline. So just a super valuable, in my opinion, super valuable route that gets in just a great spot on the field. Here, Fancy choosing not to flip with him. There's that running back streak. Again, running back cross drags, running back streaks, drag routes, corner routes, crossing routes. These are the routes you need to have in your offense if you want to be successful. Tight end whip routes, right? Here's a corner, stem down corner, slot fade, tight end streak. He's going to take the tight end streak, try to basically cut it off. He is able to. The catch and traffics in these games are wild. And he is going to be able to spike. Kyler's doing some crazy stuff there, but he is going to be able to spike. And he is going to be able to get 3. So, again, kind of played out where, good for Abram, not great for Abram, but also good for Fancy because he's able to actually hold him to 3. And then now Abram is able just to simply take his 3, and that's going to put him in a really good position from a possession battle, right? It's not just a scoring battle, but it's also a possession battle. And you see now, you're going to get Abram with the ball and a 3-point lead out of half. And that's kind of why Fancy had to score, because Abram got ball at half. He had to take a 7 because you can't get that far away from the game. If this game right now was, let's say Fancy, didn't score 7 and he got 3 on the drive, it would be 17-21. So that's a 4-point lead versus a 3-point lead. And that's a significant difference because the 3-point is a field goal, whereas a 4-point, you need a touchdown. So with a 3-point lead, like what Abram has here, even though he breaks a crazy run with Kyler, the 3-point lead that Abram has here, Fancy's probably mentally thinking, I can hold him to 3 one more time this drive. So it kind of one more time this game. So it kind of explains, some of the into half stuff. But anyway, here gonna go to the duo run, Saquon breaking tackles, juking people, and he's gonna get out of there and he's gonna go score 7 with Saquads. That was a Saquads run. So now so this is the biggest thing here. So as you see now, Abram has a 2 possession lead, right? Because of that stop he got on the interception on the curl. And this is what you get with top level Madden. Top level Madden is really more about who makes the mistake first. And so that's why even more so I feel like calling good plays, making good reads, as simple as that sounds, and obviously it's much easier to say and much harder to do. It really is like, if you just don't miss reads, if you just don't miss reads, if you just don't throw picks, if you just don't fumble, if you know what I mean, like it's much harder to lose the game. Bill Belichick says in order to win any game, you first have to stop from losing the game, and that is so true especially in the Madden space. So you see here a double flat to the left, cover through cloud with the man up of the tight end. One of the things that Abram is doing is he doesn't have any yellows on the field, and he's basically going to switch stick onto these flats and make them yellow zones practically. But as you see, Fancy's able to just pepper the middle of the field a lot within his play call and within his offense because of just the way Abram is playing defense. He's very much so into stopping these. Here, Abram's going to go to basically stock cover 2. Now, these are not adjusted yellows. Another thing he does is he'll send 3, as you see here. These send 3 sheds are pretty good this year. And Abram is able right there to basically lurk on a defensive end, do a send 3 rush where we had no yellow zones on the field, now we have like 4 based off of how he was playing defense there. Now we're going to go Texas 4-man. He's going to use her yellow. No, he's just going to run that send 3 again. Get a lot of coverage on the field. And Fancy kind of tries to force feed a streak there off a switch. He thought he had like a little window. He actually did, but couldn't get a good throw on the ball, couldn't get a good trajectory. And yeah, not ideal. All right, so we're going to go. This is one of Abram's favorite things to do. Situation, I just go shade it down, man. Just shade it down, man. 2 men under style. And there's a broken tackle. Now, Fancy pretty much has to get 7, in my opinion, here. Because the thing is, if you get 3, then you're in a position where Abram only has to get 3 to keep that 2 possession buffer. So I feel like 7 is good because you can then hold Abram to 3, and there's a lot more pressure on how Abram has to play based off that. So anyway, there's a corner route, gets a nice, spectacular catch on the right side. This is that auto motion again, tight end slot package. Look at that tight end route. And then as you see, he just basically whoops him on the corner. I don't know what that animation was right there, but he just whoops him. And he's able to get that corner right over the top. He's able to make a nice catch. He's able to get that 7. He needed to get that 7. And now you're going to see Fancy go out and try to get a stop. This is going to be Fancy's best stuff on defense, which you're about to see. Obviously, both of these guys want to win this game. Even though this game is not an MCS Elim game, it is for seeding in the tournament, and they're fighting for top 32 because top 32, you only have to win 4 games to make, I think it's 3 or 4 games to make the live. You automatically make day 2 of a limbs. You don't have to play, and anything can happen on that day once. They don't want to do that. They want to win this game. So you're going to see Fancy start to adjust, start to tweak, start to snap on things. You're going to see the switch stick. You're going to see him start to try to like really push, at least in this drive, and really the next 2 possessions for Abram is going to be kind of where you're going to see Fancy start to kind of go, trying to push for a stop. Fancy will play really kind of bend but don't break, try to let you make a mistake until he can't play like that anymore, which is in this situation. So as you see here, a little bit more send 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, user down, send 5. He peels off. Not going to get the pressure he wanted, but he's going to get some pressure. And then you're seeing, pretty decent coverage, but man, the rollout has just killed him this game. Abram has rolled out when he probably shouldn't have been able to roll out, and that's the power of a mobile quarterback in Madden. Pretty much always mobile quarterback seems to be the key. And good switch stick there. So if you watch how Fancy switched, and again, I was talking about that cover 2 cloud. I mean, you see here, look at that little route bounce. Like the soft squat kind of goes berserk. And then this just effectively is a route bounce that he's able to hit. Again, rolling out. I mean, it's been a rollout, buying extra time with the rollout consistently. All right, we're going to get another flip here. Stem down corner on the left. Nope, just to do a run. Now, why run the ball to the left? Actually, doesn't matter because he's in the offset. So, anyway. Trips tied in. There's that running back route. Look at this. Look at the combo that he is using. He's going to use a comeback route, a drag. I don't love this. I understand it. It's a high-low on this. What's going to happen if it's cover 2 is this guy will bail back to this comeback, and there'll be this window right there. If it's a hard flat, then he'll be able to throw the comeback late. But I feel like this is pretty and he's going to audible out. Now we're doing some crazy. Now we're motioning, and now I don't like what we're doing. Actually, I have no idea what this combo was, and it's going to end up in a sack. This is the kind of stuff that I just don't like watching. I think he's basically trying to pop cover 0, so he's going to use a C route that he stems down here, which you can only get from a motion. Fancy does a good job of kind of running this guy out and kind of snapping onto this, but what the heck are these three? What are these three receivers doing over here? They're not there. There's, I mean, and then why are we already over here? Like, I just feel like, I don't know. I just didn't like this play call. I didn't like the play call. I didn't like the route combo. I feel like the C route is cool, but you didn't give yourself a whole lot of options on the other side of the field, and then you immediately rolled out, and then his user's already over there. It's some of those kind of plays in the switch stick era are not as good because it's you just basically switch your user over to the side and then you put them in a lot of conflict. Now this, I love this play. I'd even love it more if we had a running back flat, but I get the extra protection. But this is basically streak, corner, drag, and we're going to get a little return route, and we're going to give ourselves a lot of options. We have a seam streak, we have a corner route, we have a drag route, and then we have a return route that could be thrown in these windows. So look at all my, just give yourself a lot more answers. Like you see there, streak, corner route against the man coverage, corner route's wide open. We decided we would rather just run the ball with our quarterback here. Um, and again, maybe he was probably anticipating a fancy like legendary switch stick there, but he didn't get it. And again, Fancy's playing way too much man for me. I feel like he is so much better in zone. And it's just like, why would he play so much man coverage? Man, this rollout stuff's crazy. He's literally trying to roll out every single play. Watch this, because what he does, roll out, and then it's like an air truck, immediate air truck. And then a high point return out over the middle field, not going to get it. He's going to get held to 3. And I feel like this is just my 2 cents. I feel like Abram 100% stopped himself on that drive by calling kind of iffy play calls. I feel like in the red zone generally, and then also missing a wide open corner route for a touchdown that he had because of the rollout. Now, again, the rollout has been good for him in other avenues of the game. So you can't say like, well, you shouldn't try to roll out because you got to go through your reads and all that. Like you could say that, but in practicality, Abrams had a lot of success this game rolling out. It really just comes down to I think he missed the corner route on the left, or he was anticipating this switch stick and he didn't get it. So anyway, I did feel like though, if you really just look at those 3 play calls, there was really only one play call that I felt like was a good red zone play. The other 2 were good if you weren't playing somebody like Fancy. Like they were good if you're playing like someone it's gonna be mid blitz and they're not gonna switch that, but Fancy don't switch that. Anyway, there, good catch tackle by Abram, able to kind of protect that cover 2 hole shot. Now Fancy in his mind, right? He's gonna go get 7. He's gonna get a stop. He's gonna win the game. So you're gonna now start to see Abram will still probably play kind of bend but don't break, keep everything in front because the clock right here, Abram is still in a really favorable position because your third quarter, about 31 seconds. If he can make this drive take 2 minutes, right, then he gets the ball back with 4 minutes, but he only needs a field goal and he has the whole field to be able to get a field goal, right? So I think that is you're still in a very favorable position. If you're Abram, you still have to score 7 if you're Fancy, but then you start to have to figure out like if you're Fancy, you want to score fast. Like you want to score within like the next minute of this game. And if you're Abram, you want to just make this drive take, 3-4 minutes if you can. Because then it makes it a very easy situation for you to clock the game out and just kick a game-winning field goal on the other side of this. So far, I feel like Abram is doing his job. And that's why you're seeing some of the more, cloud flat, deeper hook curls, force him to check it down underneath. And this is how you use like the clock to plan your adjustments as well. Like I feel like that's some of what you're seeing. Like Abram and Fancy has a touchdown, please throw it. And he misses the throw. That is unfortunate. But what you take a look here. So this middle third just freezes. Why he freezes, I don't know. But look at him freeze right here. Maybe that's a Y off trio close positioning thing, but that just popped cover three. That middle third did not middle third, and that almost really helped Fancy, and then he can't make the throw. And I believe that Abram is actually the host of this game, which is a whole other conversation. So that's crazy. It's going to bring up a fourth down. Obviously, Fancy has to convert here. Fancy gets stopped here. He's in a really bad spot because he can't really, like, it's a free field goal for Abram pretty much. And he gets stopped here. And this is just like, we got stopped twice in this game, and we did the same thing on both times. Watch the route combo. But you see here, you've got a 20-yard stemmed up curl. You've got a post to like. I just felt like run a drag underneath that and cut it up and get a first down. I I get that the stem curls are like the hotness, but I just felt like didn't really work out for him there. This route is such an iffy route, this post streak, because it's so easy to switch it. It is open, but again, as I just said, it's so easy to switch that. He switches it on. It just has to bite down just a little because it's such a hard throw because it's across your body. Like it's all the way across the field. It's a hard throw to make. And he gets stopped. And now Abrams in a great position to win this ball game. Right? He's in a phenomenal position to win this ball game. If you're Abram, in my opinion, I I would pass on this first down because of the third quarter, because there's 2 seconds left. He's gonna run it. I would have passed right there. The reason being is because of the 2 seconds thing. Like the clock's gonna stop no matter what anyway after that play. He decides to run it, works out for him well. He gets 8 yards, really works out for him great because now he is in field goal range, but he's also on a second and short. So you'll probably 100% see a run right here as well. He's gonna pass, but I'm really surprised. I would think you would run there just a clock, but maybe he's not even trying to clock. Maybe he's just trying to dot. And it could be because 5 minutes is like a decent chunk of time. And if you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown. This is just not whatever this is not getting over here. This is just too free. And Fancy does a good job of switching this, but he's got to get, and Fancy knows like he's got to get over here and work that, and he's just not able to. And Abram is going to get 7. And now Abram's up. Going to go for 2 here to try to go up 14. No, just going to go up 13. But Abram's in a really good spot. He's up 2 possessions. He's played good all game. And now Fancy has to score here. This has to be 7. It has to be relatively fast, too, because of the clock. Fancy does have timeouts to get himself back. He's kept all his timeouts, but. And there's that. See that right there? Look at this route combo. It's so similar to what he ran on fourth down. Like it's so similar. But I want to show you just one little difference. So if you look at it, and again, I know I'm kind of isolating something, but I just feel like it really cost him this game twice. But if you look, you have that wheel, the fade, the streak. You have this route, but then you have this return route right there. The reason that's good is because you're pushing everything vertical. And so he has to switch to here. And this is just a free, because if you cut it up, right, it's a free 10 to 15 yards. You see right there, cut it up, and there's 20 yards. Would have got him the first down in the last drive. Totally get that I'm isolating one little thing, but that's where I just feel like he didn't give himself an option if the post wasn't really there. And I think that and Abram was able just to switch the post, and that was it. There you go, a little stem down corner, running back route. Abram loving cover two. A lot of cover two from Abram. A lot of cover two. A lot of cover three roll. Skip motion cross post because Wav trio. There's that play again. Now Fancy's got, Fancy is also one of the things I actually really like about Fancy is he doesn't run like he masters his plays. So he only runs like a couple of plays on offense, but he really masters the reads. There's that curl. Now Fancy's kind of dialed in. He's moving good. Obviously, Abram's playing pretty bend but don't break, just trying to make the drive take time. Didn't love that play right there. Pretty much covered two on that right side, though. Texas four-man stunt, getting just enough pressure. And there, the play that's supposed to block Texas four-man stunt. Now, it doesn't come in free. I don't know what Fancy does here. I feel like he just messes up. But he basically pump fakes. Instead of, I don't know. Didn't work out. 3rd and 19. Abram, everything stemmed back. All the zones back to the sticks. And Fancy got to do a good job. Now, it's actually a great job. So he checks down to this. Again, this is just a flat route, right? It's just a flat route. But this is the thing. It's the only thing on the play that's going to be open. You have to take it. And I love that he takes it because on 3rd and 19, he's able to take this flat, break a tackle or air truck, get up to about the 4th and 4. He gets 15 yards on a 3rd and 19, puts himself in a 4th and manageable where he can use the whole field and actually put himself in a position to convert it. So I thought that was a really good, again, take. Sometimes you just have to. You can't force bad throws. So there's the in route, good read from Fancy, and he's able to get a touchdown. And so that was actually like a really good drive. Put himself in a good position. You got a flat, you got a little slant, got a little out, got a little wheel, got a little post or in. And this is just a really nice horizontal concept. Like you got a flat, and again, this slant, it's not a drag. I believe it's a slant because then the hard flat snaps to the flat, and there's this little window. You'll see like right there's a little window. And then you have a 20-yard in, which gets into a nice little spot. And then you have a flat, and you got a little seam wheel to the back. Fancy's thrown, really on a lot of plays, is a big believer in the seam wheel from Wild Trail Close. All right, so pendulum shifts down to Abram. Fancy has to get a stop. He can't hold a 3 here, right? It's you have to get a stop. That's why Abram ultimately just decided, I'm just going to take my extra point. And now, really this is it. Got to get a stop. And first play. As I said, they just kind of bump, which happens in this game way too much. But this is why I don't like man coverage. And you'll see it right here. So Fancy gets pretty aggressive. He has a cloud and he cross mans. So what he does is he has man coverage, and then he has some level of cross manning. So what you'll see here is right there they bump. And that little bump by that man coverage defender leaves that fade open and basically GG's him. Abram's going to go down here, and he's going to basically go to chew clock, immediately conservative, run the ball, air truck his way out. And so we're down 2nd and 6, 2-minute warning, another run here. Fancy doing a decent job of like keeping it. The problem is it's 41-35. And so because of that, it basically Fancy has to get onside. Is effectively what happens. Abram wisely right there, he passes. And if Fancy gives him something open, he's going to take it. But his real plan more than likely was to take a sack. So now he takes this clock down even more so. Now, Fancy chooses here, if you look at the bottom, he actually chooses not to call his timeouts, which I actually agree with. Because now what he's able to do is he's able to go down, try to get some points, and onside immediately, plus get that stop. Because the other big key to this is Fancy is 35-44. So if Fancy goes down and gets 7, it's going to be 42-44, which then you're not out of the game if Abram kicks a field goal. So then you get an onside plus you get a chance because of the onside, and you also get a chance because of if you can hold Abram to 3, you're not out of the game mathematically. So it's Abrams or Fancy is kind of a different. I don't see that a ton, but anyway, he's going to throw it up. Now right there, he has to call timeout, and it's because he threw the ball in the middle of the field and caught it inbounds. He has to call timeout. Again, if you can't really take 3, you have to get 7 here, honestly. Unless you you pretty much have to get 7 here. And he almost throws a pick, gotta throw a sack. It's gonna bring up a 2nd and 10. It's not out of the game at all. And I think it's because, again, he kept those timeouts. Some people would call those immediately. And he's able to hit that corner route. Nice read, able to get out of bounds. Kind of pretty terrible defense from Abram on that one. Can't give that up. That's, you gave up a 20-yard completion and he immediately ran out of bounds. You just can't do that. Make him throw the running back wheel in the middle of the field. Fancy rolling out. He's going to have to call another timeout. So you see what I'm saying? So now, pretty much it's going to come down to an onside kick if he's able to score 7 and gets pressured again. And this is basically going to be, he might take 3 here. I could see him taking 3 because at this point he doesn't have the timeouts to matter. So, I feel like if it gets to a 4th down, you honestly take 3. But he'll probably go for it. But the reason why I'm saying that is just because you're still going to have to, Hail Mary it. That's really bad that he got tackled right there. That is a really bad for him. So you see here, you get corner route. Again, there's another seam wheel type route. Wants to possession catch it and fall down in the end zone. Instead, he catches it, and then he can't get upfield like he wants to. Ends up getting tackled. Inbounds, has to call timeout. Ultimately, also, Abram got 2 stops in this game, and Fancy's still right in the game. And that's how important the clock management aspect is here. This is actually really smart. So I don't know if it's the cross running back route, but it's this curl route right here, which you really don't ever see. And so what I would like to see is a purple from that safety, but for whatever reason, I don't see a lot of people doing that. They do quarters for the seam streaks. Yeah, so you see the running back cross route? Look at the hard flat. He's already playing the running back. See how fast he jumps the running back? And that leaves that wide open for a touchdown. It's a good little route combo. Another one worth stealing in the red zone. Have that flat curl, and then you can have whatever to the other guys. Anyway, going to go to field goal, going to go to the onside, and he is not going to get it, and that's going to be GG's. I thought this was a really good game. I thought Fancy did a really good job of kind of managing the clock, even in a situation where, I don't know, I just thought he did a really good job of managing the clock in this game to kind of keep himself in the game. Also thought Abram played extremely well. And I also think Fancy made some mistakes just in terms of, kind of some of those big down play calls. But in general, that's Madden at the end of the day. It was a really good Madden game from the ladders. Wanted to break it down. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you guys want to get any of my offensive, defensive ebooks, they are in the description. And I'll leave links to those guys' stuff as well down below.